Okay, welcome everyone. We're here with Heather Powers from Humblebeads. If you're here, say hello so I know people can see the video. So today's our coffee break, and I am looking forward to hanging out with you guys for about 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, depending how wordy I get. If you're here watching, say hello. I'd love to hear from you. We're going to be making a bracelet, a wax linen bracelet today. All right. Hi, Joyce, Lori. Yay. I'm so glad you guys are here. Excuse the delay. We had a little cat vet emergency today, and so he's all good, and we're back home, and so everything's good. Hi, Roma and June and Candy. Welcome, you guys. Say hello. So this is the bracelet we're going to be making today. It's a knotted bracelet with one of my little willow birds, some tube beads, dogwoods, and we have my little Humblebead disc here. It's going to be fun and easy. A super fun one to do for the summer. Doesn't take hardly any tools, so just your basic jewelry making tools and a pair of scissors are all you need. So it's a nice one to take if you're traveling. Hi, Darlene and Brenda, Lydia, Connie, Debbie, Terry, Sandy, Lorraine, Cheryl. Hi, guys. Kimberly, Susan. Yes, happy Friday. Really, it's like perfect summer weather here. Almost 80 degrees, which is a little hot, but that's okay. I got my first taste of farm fresh strawberries today, you guys, and it was heavenly, so I'm a happy girl. Okay, so we're going to talk about color first. I thought I would just give you guys some ideas before we get started. I know you guys are always saying how much you love my color combinations, so I'm just going to go through some of what we have. I have some new beads too that are going to be on the website today at 6 o'clock. Sorry, it's going to be a little later today, but we have to finish our workday before I add stuff to the website. So I will also put a supply list on my website for this project too, so you guys have that. We sold out of all the kits yesterday. I just had a few of them made. So that is that. Hi, Lori and Susan and Lydia. Oh yes, 91. I can't complain, Lydia. Other than the fact that I kind of wish I lived in a refrigerator, but that's okay. I would like it to be like 65 degrees every day, and then I'd be happy. But then I'd probably complain about something else. It's always something, right? Okay, so this is my original one. And aren't these awesome, guys? Look at these new tube beads. They're like kind of like a faux turquoise with a gold finish on them. I just think they're spectacular. And 6 o'clock tonight, we'll have these on the website. So that's the colorway that I used for here with a little turquoise flower that I had in my bead stash. And some of the, they're like a AB finish dogwood leaf in a champagne color. Really pretty. So that's the original one. This is the one I'm going to do today because I want to wear it. So these little beads these little birds are brand new. They're like an icy blue, and I made them to match the beads exactly. So I just took the beads over to my bead desk and made the birds to match them exactly. And this is a grayish blue with a silvery finish, and it looks kind of like etched glass. Well, it is etched glass. I mean, it reminds me of sea glass. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's the color combination I am going to use today. And I'm going to use it with these kind of purpley, really light colored hibiscus flowers and my branch bead and periwinkle. And then I'm going to use the same pearlescent champagne color, because that champagne color kind of matches everything. You could get that for each one. Oh no, Kimberly, perfect day for beading because you have the rain. Yeah, we were enjoying a really nice thunderstorm yesterday. It was one of those summer thunderstorms that are just kind of romantic sounding, listening to the thunder far away. Okay, so that's combo one. That's the one I'm going to use for the video. So these are little gold birds. I've had these on the website for a long time. You guys love them. They're happy, sunny, and these guys are new. So this is a mustard yellow with a silvery AB finish. So they have a really fun rustic feel to them. And I would totally pair those up with these guys in the ivory. And I would grab one of my gold disc beads for that. Kind of, and then probably a white or ivory color flower is what I would match with those guys. So my next little ones, these guys I've had on the website for a long time. I have both the little cream colored tiny birds, and these are an orange color, but they're etched. And these just have a little bit of peach that I thought really played nicely with those. And I would match them up with my copper disc bead for a little contrast. And I would go with the cream for my three little leaves. You know, give it some contrast. That's something you could also go more monochromatic and do all orange, but I kind of like the mix of the cream with the other color. Okay, another newbie bead for today. I made these to match this strand of beads. So these beads are they have purple, orange, and an AB finish on them. And so I just made these little guys to match them exactly. These look a little darker on the camera, but the colors are spot on. And I would go with these guys, or you could go a little bit darker with these darker ones. But I kind of like the matte finish. That's another thing to do, is to play with your textures. So if your two beads are super shiny, a matte leaf kind of gives a nice contrast to that. And I would grab one of these little coppery hibiscus flowers. And again, in case you're just hopping on, the new beads will be listed at 6 o'clock tonight. Okay, this is a fun color combination, but I feel like I need to find a brighter flower. I was going to do this one, but it's too dark. I need something to pull everything together and brighten this up, so I'll have to go. I would have to hunt for one in my stash here. But these little coral beads, these guys are new. This is a pink silvery color that I have on the website, and I would match them up with these guys. Or if you're feeling a little more punchy, you could do pink, but no, I'm not feeling that. I would definitely go with these. Or the other thing you could do, something I love doing, is adding green. So you could do green as your third color. Oh, I actually like that a lot. Yeah, see, you know why this works? Because the brightness of these leaves match nicely with the brightness of the birds. And then you have the contrast of the more muted pink shade. So that's really pretty. I actually like that. Now I'm wondering if I should do that one. Tell me which one you guys want to see. Do you want to see this one or the blue one for the project today? I'm torn. I'm not sure. Okay. And now the next new little birds that I have are mint. So these are mint with a silvery finish. And look, guys, again, pulled the beads over to my bead table and made the birds to match exactly. And so these will be on the website at 6. And I would go with, I would go with the brighter leaves for this one too, with a little turquoise color. Or you could be really, or a lemon, lime. That would look really cool together too. So very summery here. Okay. And then just a few more options. We have artichoke, and this is why do I keep forgetting this? It's like, is it teal? I'm not tea green, I think it is. It's like a really light turquoisey blue, and this matches perfectly with that. And I would put these with either the dark one. I'm not sure if I would do the light one. Yeah, no, I would definitely do the dark one with this, with those guys. I like that combination together. And then, well, here's the whole combination that I pulled out. So we have these blue leaves, that bird, this guy, and the teal. So that's another teal combination. You know, you gotta have the teals. Everyone loves the teals. I think that's probably my most popular bead color, you guys, are teals. Okay, so what did you guys vote on? We have blue, coral, pink and green, blue, coral, pink, blue, pink. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like the pink. You guys are into the pink. I am too, actually. I think that'll actually look super cute. And it will match. Oh, this matches a little dress that a skirt that I bought. So even better. And if you weren't into the bright pink, you could also do the white with this for a little bit more contrast. So lots of fun options here, you guys. I'm going to move all the other little guys. I'm just going to push them off the side of the tray. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Nobody look. Okay. So, in those dogwoods, if you don't see them on the website right now, guys, check back at 6 o'clock because we have a lot of them that we're adding in stock. I mean, that need to be put back in stock. Okay, so this is what we're making. I'm going to go with these colors. I have the pink, 2 beads, and you're going to need 6 of these. And then we're going to need 3 leaves. Just 1 bird, so you can save one as a little charm on a pendant later on. Or you could make a bracelet for you and one for a friend. And then I think I'm going to go with darker O beads for this one. Just a little more. Oh, or should I go with the gold? Choices. Let's see. Actually, I think I'm going to go with the gold. Brighten things up a little bit. We're going to need 14 of these guys, so I'm just going to put a little pile here. All right. We're going to be using 4-ply wax linen, you guys. So 4-ply wax linen. And I'm going to be using 40 inches. So 40 inches of 4-ply wax linen. Oh yeah, I need to get my flower bead, Rachel. Thanks for the reminder. Let me... Okay, so this is what I do with all of my beads. At the end of the day, I throw them all in here. And so let's see, and they're all by color. Not sure if I have any hibiscus flowers in this one. So let me go with maybe a turquoise color. I like that one. Oh, here we go. Perfect. All right. Hi, Cassandra. Now, you guys, I'm glad Cassandra popped in. Cassandra, feel free to share your O-ring link here. The guys, Cassandra's my friend from Bead to Live By, and she sells awesome, an awesome selection of beads, including my favorite O beads that I use all the time. Okay, I'm gonna grab a piece of scrap paper. You can also use a piece of craft paper. I'm gonna polish this wax linen first. Yes, Bonnie, you need to have all the plies of wax linen because you never know what hole you're going to need for a project. So in general, if you're using check glass beads and not the super duos, you can use the 4-ply. Okay, so I am just polishing the wax on here so they don't have a bunch of goopy wax when I pull the smaller beads through. Alright, I have a little branch toggle clasp. And that's what I'm going to use. That's what we're going to start with. Is when I'm doing a bracelet project, I always do the toggle with the part that doesn't have the knot. So this part is the one that's going to get pulled the most when you're putting it on and off. And so having this stronger connection will help your bracelet have a little more strength and stability. So we're going to do a lark's head knot. I've slipped this through. I'm going to pull the 2 strands through my loop and then pull it nice and tight. Okay, and now I'm going to do 3 knots. And I'm taking both the strands, just wrapping it around my finger, and then pulling the 2 strands through the loop. Just a regular old everyday knot. You want to make sure you're pulling them down so that they're together. So I'm going to do that 2 more times. 2 or 3, because I do have 1 already. I think I'm going to do just 2. And the reason I'm doing these 2 knots is it gives it some room for your toggle to be able to pull straight through. So those little knots are giving you some room to play with right here. Instead of using like smaller beads, I'm using the knots to give us some room to pull that toggle through. Okay, now I'm going to take my 2 ends, I'm going to cut these so they're exactly the same. I'm going to twist them together, and I'm going to start with an O bead. And you just twist these together so that they'll fit through that O bead a little easier. And then I'm going to put the tube and then the next O bead. Bonnie, great question. She asks, can you glue the knots on wax linen? And yes, you can. Sorry, I had a little... You can use leather glue or beading glue on the knots. But I find I haven't needed to do any glue on my knots. The wax kind of holds things together, and then by being careful of where I'm putting the knots, like so that this is a sturdier knot on the end, it works a little better. And Linda, do I ever use flexible beading wire, soft flex beading wire for projects like this? I haven't, just because I enjoy the texture and feel of the wax linen. It's just something about it that calls my name. Okay, I'm going to repeat this again with the 2 beads. I mean the 2 bead. So we're going to do the O bead, a 2 bead, and the O bead, and I'm going to tie that knot again. And this is definitely a project, guys, you can do in like 20 minutes or less. It's a very fast, easy one. I'll be taking a little bit more time because I'm talking my way through it and trying to do knots under a camera. Wendy, I had to reschedule at the last minute because we had a emergency vet visit with my cat, and so things weren't as planned. So sorry about that. Cat is doing well. He's an elderly cat and he has some issues with liver shunts, and he's doing good though. He just needed a new medicine. Okay, yeah, Bonnie, definitely if you want to have a little bit more security with your knots, I would say a beading glue on the knots would work just fine, and it will dry clear, and that's what seed beaters use to get their knots nice and tight, so no problem with that. Okay, now we're going to separate these two strands, and I'm going to use the one that seems to be on the top. I'm sure it wouldn't matter if you did either one, but I'm going to use the one that's on the top, and I'm going to put my leaf on, all the way down, and this strand is going to go in the back, and I'm going to tie these together. It's the same knot for the entire project, you guys. Everything's exactly the same. If you can tie your shoe, you can do this project. Okay, I'm going to separate these again and repeat that 2 more times with the leaf. And you want to make sure you're putting your leaves on so they all go in the right direction. And you're laying that second wax linen in the back, flat on the back of your bead. Both the strands won't fit through the hole, so that's why I'm doing that. Okay, and I'm going to repeat. Oh yes, my little Oliver, he is doing really good, guys. We just had a little issue with him, and I had to get him checked out since he has the health problem. We can't let anything slide. Okay. Do the last leaf here. And this bracelet, you guys, okay, I'm a big girl, you know, and I wear an 8.5, and so you can size this down by not adding 2. You can just add 1 of the little beads on the back, on the tube on each side, to make it 2 inches shorter. That would be 6.5. That would be very tiny, but if you're a tiny person, or I would remove this bead right here if you want it to be around 7.5, which will fit, an average size wrist, whatever that means. Okay. Yeah, darling, 8.5 inches for this bracelet, because I made it to fit me, as I do most of my jewelry. Okay, now, guys, let me tell you, you can futz and torture yourself and get both the strands through here, but I'm going to just tell you guys a little secret. This is a handheld drill. It's called a pin vise. You can get it on Amazon, or you can go into your local hardware store and let them know you need a little mini hand drill or a pin vise, and they will help you out. It's under $10 to get this, and it's a great thing to widen the holes on my disc beads. You're just gonna put it in there and twist it around. You cannot damage it, don't worry about it, and it's just going to come through the hole, and this is just going to make the hole just a tiny bit thicker and works way nicer with the 2 strands of wax linen. So you don't need a large hole bead, you just need to make it a tiny bit bigger. And of course, you can make this very, very tight and get it in there. It's just going to be a little bit more of a struggle, and that little pin vise will do the trick very nicely. Okay, sticking on the next little O bead. So I have an O bead on each side of the disc bead here. I'm going to pull this all the way down. And I'm still seeing a little bit of excess wax on the other side here, so I'm just using my finger to remove that. Okay, got that disc bead on. I'm going to tie the knot. Then it's time for the bead, and we're halfway done with this, guys. All right, now time for the bird. And so this little guy, he's acting as a nest. And the bird is the same size as the drilled disc bead, so Jesse uses a 1.5 millimeter drill for all of the birds, so they'll fit perfectly through the 2 layers without any struggle. Okay, now on the other side, I'm going to do 4 of the tube beads with the O beads on each side. So I'm going to try to do this a little bit quicker. So what are your guys' weekend plans? Anything fun? We're going to go to the farmer's market tomorrow. And Saturday is my journal day with my mom. And I have some plants to get in the ground. Or in my beds. Gotta do some gardening. Okay. It's my favorite thing is to garden on the weekends. Just get out there, get super messy, hands in the dirt. Makes me very, very happy. I got quite the herb garden going on this year. And I'm going to try to do some fancy things with the herbs. Well, fancy for me. I have a ton of chives this year. Like my chives just went crazy. And so I have a lot of the blossoms. And I'm going to put that in vinegar to make a little vinegar and olive oil salad dressing with the chives. Oops, I forgot to do a knot here. Got all excited about the garden. Oh yeah, graduation parties. This is the weekend, isn't it? We don't have anyone nearby graduating, but we have one of our nephews is graduating in Texas. I don't know why they do our graduation in our town in the football field. In the blazing sun, even though we have beautiful auditoriums. But that's what they do. And it's right down the road from our house. And so we hear them when they're doing the graduation. I also hear every football game. It's kind of fun. Oh, you get to have the grandkids come over. Fun. Our family up here, all the kids are grown now. And they're not at the stage, and maybe they never will be, where they'll be having their own kids. And so we're a family of adults. Oh yes, Wendy, the chives are contained in a flower bed, a raised garden bed, so they can't take over. But they have taken over half the box, and I need to whittle them down a little. I haven't done much with the flowers. We didn't have as many flowers last year. Just seemed like we had more of the little green parts that you cut up. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this hibiscus flower that I did with the leaves, where I'm only going to put it on one and have it go all the way down. And so it's going to be the one strand is on the back and the other strand is through. And I'm going to tighten that up. Tie it up, not tighten it up. Okay, now we're ready to do the clasp. See guys, such an easy bracelet. All right, now the clasp, I'm going to stick it through on both strands, put it all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to do that same knot where I'm wrapping the 2 strands around my finger and pulling the knot through I'm going to pull this all the way down, nice and tight. And now I'm going to take the 2 strands that I'm going to do another knot. So I'm doing this knot, I'm wrapping it around the knots that are underneath the clasp. I'm going to pull that nice and tight. And I'm going to repeat that. So I'm wrapping it so that this little knot is going around the strands on the bracelet. And I'm pulling that all the way tight. So I have those 2 knots right there. And that's kind of ugly. So my solution to the ugliness was a little crimp bead. And let me grab my tools here. Oh no. Oh, here they are. I was looking for my awesome parallel pliers that I love so much. You guys can get those from my friend Kate at thebeadshop.com. Highly recommend those. Okay, I'm gonna put the chain nose pliers inside the crimp bead, and I'm going to use my thumb. Oop, I don't know why they keep popping out here. I'm using my thumb to open up the pliers gently. So as they open it up, I'm pressing them further and further down on the pliers. I want this opening to be large enough to fit over, ow, my bead. I mean my hideous knot that I have there. Boy, judgy much, Heather? Okay, so there's a nice big opening. And I want this to go so that the seam is going to be facing the back. So I'm going to stick this over the front. Get that in there nice and tight. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to use my parallel pliers and give this a little squeeze. And it's going to close it up really, really nicely. Super quick, does such a great job. Okay. And now I still have a little bit of a knot, you know, not that I'm hating on the knot, but it's not as beautiful as it could be. So I'm going to use the little jump ring and a charm to cover it up. And that's one of my design secrets, you guys. If you don't like the way something looks, just cover it up. Okay, now I'm using an oval jump ring. And I'm gonna slip that on. Slip it on over my knot. There we go. And then I'm gonna close the jump ring up. It's not quite over the knot. There we go. All right. There we go. I'm gonna put this down. And grab the end of my jump rings. Ooh. And put those back and forth until they reach each other. Okay. Now my last little touch that I wanted to do is I'm going to add a few little seed beads to the to the strands that are on the edge there. And I'm going to grab some 8mm seed beads. So these seed beads are large enough to fit over the 4-ply cord. And I'm using, these are gold lined. And so they look really nice with the metallic components that we have throughout the piece here. Okay, and what I'm going to do really simply, I'm just going to put one of these on and tie a knot. I'm going to do that 3 times on each side. So just a little tiny touch. You wouldn't even have to do this if you didn't want to. You could cut the threads all the way down, or you could just leave your threads wild and free and just cut them down to like 1/4 of an inch or so. Oh, my 2 adult kiddos. What do you call your adult children? I don't know. They're out there having fun, goofing off. Which, you know, probably my favorite sound in the whole world is to hear them laugh together. What's that quote from Mary Oliver, that joy isn't a crumb? I'll have to look up the whole entire little quote, but I know it said something like that. Okay, last one. And then I'm going to give my little strands a haircut here so that they're not all crazy. And guys, it was 40 inches of 4-ply wax linen is what I used. And you can get creative with the color and use a color that matches, a color that blends in, or you could use a contrasting color if you wanted. And you can just make those as long and short as you want. Okay, so here's my little finished bracelet. And this is going to look so cute with the skirt that I have. I'm excited to wear that to the farmer's market tomorrow. Oh, look how nice and tropical that turned out. I love it. Right? No matter how old your kids are, they're always going to be your babies. It's so true. My mom would always say that to me, and you don't know how true it is until you have your own, right? Oh, darn. My camera got a little off kilter. Okay, so that's the design. What do you guys think? Super fun, super easy, great little project to whip up when you just want something cute and tiny. Not tiny, but just a fast project. That's what I'm trying to say. Fast project. There we go. I made it in 40 minutes because I was chatting away and talking about color. But I know you guys could sit down and whip this out in 20 minutes. It's a really easy design. The hardest part will be picking the colors, right? Yes, I will totally put it on for you. Of course, it takes all my concentration to try to do up the toggle here. And again, this is an 8.5-inch bracelet, you guys, so I would just minus one of the tube beads or 2 of them, depending on how long or short you want it. And you can have the bird facing that way or turn it around and face it that way. And I would wear this on my non-dominant hand, but for the video. Here we go. So that's what it looks like on. And again, 8.5 inches. And if you want it to be smaller, just eliminate one of these or two of them. So either eliminate this one if you want it to be closer to 7.5, or both of these if you need an even smaller bracelet. All right. Laura, your 2-ply bracelet will not break. Your beads aren't heavy enough, I'm assuming, depending on what beads you made, unless you used like really super heavy stones or something. The 2-ply works just as well for bracelets. The reason I used the 4-ply is because the holes were bigger on this project. So I wanted the knots to show up a little bit more in between the larger hole beads, because these ones are actually the tube beads, you guys, will actually fit on leather cord. So these are large hole beads, which is another reason I used the 4-ply. So don't worry if you use the 2-ply, Laura. It'll be just fine. When I've done like the Super Duo bracelets, they've been 2-ply. So yeah, you're good. All right, guys. That's it for today. My website update is going to be at 6 o'clock with the new birds and the new tube beads that I showed you guys earlier. All right. It is that time of day. Time to give a prize. Okay. So we're going to do a $30 gift certificate. And the first person to answer my question will be the winner today. If you've won in the last month, I'm going to ask that you give somebody else a chance. If it's been more than a month, feel free to join in again. But if you've won in the last month, let's let somebody else have a turn. So the first person to answer this question will be the winner. What is the name of this? Who remembers the name of this? Waiting for your answer. See who has the fast fingers and the best memory. Oh, Terry and Laura, not quite. Very close. Brenda, you were the first one to answer it. It's a pin vise, or I would have taken a mini drill. So, mini drill or pin vise. And Brenda, Harold. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. I'm putting an R in there and there's not an R. I apologize. Healed? Is that how you say it? Brenda, you're the winner. So I will be, actually, Brenda, if you could email me at humblearts@gmail.com or just on the website at humblebeads.com, then I can send out. Oh, wait, what am I saying? Brenda, I have your email. Don't I? If I don't have your email, Brenda, please email me at humblearts@gmail.com. So, bead reamer, it's a great little tool to have if you want to enlarge the hole on polymer clay beads, or if you want to add a second hole, like say at the bottom of a pendant. This is what we use to drill all of our beads. And so say you had a hole, a pendant here, and you wanted to drill a hole at the bottom to add some dangles. This is what I recommend using. All right, guys. Okay, Brenda, I know I just did an order for you, and so I know I have it. I know I have it. It's Friday. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget, let me pull the picture up here. I need to go and pick out my winner for last month's challenge for our Spring Blossoms mood board. I'm going to pick the winner today, and our next challenge is going to start today. And this is our June, July, mood board inspired by Van Gogh's irises. You just need to make a piece of jewelry inspired by this photo. Anything in the photo that you find inspiring. Can be the color, can be the irises, anything, guys. Just as long as it's something inspired by this photo and has some humble beads on it, either focal beads or things from our website, check glass, whatever findings you've gotten from us, and you upload it to the photo album in the Humblebeads VIP group, and I pick one winner every month for a $50 gift certificate. Also, I make an artisan collection inspired by the mood board, and so that will be going out at the end of next week, and you'll get a whole little collection inspired by Van Gogh's irises. And I am seriously so excited about making some iris beads. I'm going to be doing some caning and making some really fancy iris beads inspired by my favorite painting. So super excited about that. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Get out and enjoy some sunshine, and I will see you guys here next Friday, 3 p.m. for our Friday coffee break. And barring any emergencies, I will be here on time. All right, guys, have a great weekend.